Good morning, Facebook family. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to season 4 of Tea and Talk with Hermie. I am your wonderful, wonderful host of Tea and Talk. I started Tea and Talk a couple years back, but I took a 2-year break. I had to focus on myself. I had to get through some things, deal with some things. So, like they say, I couldn't walk and chew gum at the same time. So, guess what? Since I couldn't walk and chew gum at the same times, I just chose to take a break from Tea and Talk with Hermie. But I am back for 2026 with season 4. So thank you for welcoming me wherever you are. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. So I have decided to start this journey with actually drinking some tea. So this morning I made turmeric and ginger. And the best part about this turmeric and ginger, it came from the garden outside. Planted them last year. So I was able to go dig up some turmeric and dig some ginger. The only thing that I don't like about it is gloves. If you're not wearing gloves when you're handling turmeric, you just forget it. Just forget about your nails and your finger because bleach is not going to help you right there and there in the moment. So when you're dealing with fresh turmeric, please have gloves on. So I also want to say the benefit of turmeric and ginger here. Indigestion is very good for it, and anti-inflammation and boost the system. I know a lot of people will say, hey, if you have an upset stomach, go grab you a cup of ginger ale, drink some ginger ale. But guess what? Have you some ginger tea, turmeric and ginger tea. It does wonders for the wonders, 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 wonders. So again, thank you for welcoming me wherever you are. My disclaimer. I want to make sure I enforce my disclaimer. At every Tea and Talk with Hermie, I would say I get my information from two places. Self, which is my life experience, and from doing my research. As I said before, I don't have any certificate background for what I will talk about from each episode, but whatever I speak on is because I experienced it or because I researched it. So I will never just say that because of my PhD or my whatever behind my name, I'm here spilling out this stuff, spilling the tea, spilling the stuff, whatever you want to take it. I have no accreditation behind my name, just my experience and what I have researched online. As you see at the bottom already, the ticker is running to say what will be on next week for my next week show. It's already there at the bottom. I like to start off with a Bible verse for the day. And it's fitting that my Bible verse today is my favorite scripture. And I will not do it verbatim, so I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it. It's from Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him. In all your ways, acknowledge him. You notice all the all, not some, and who to trust. Trust in the Lord and lean not on your own understanding. I myself is guilty of that. I have leaned on my own and it got me nowhere. So it's a learned pattern for me right now to say, you know what? It's not me, it's God. It's not my timing, but it's God's timing. So I'm not this religious fanatic freak. Okay. I just know who butters my bread. I just know to trust in God and believe in him, and he got my back and he will direct my path, and he got me. Okay. So, with that being said, for those of you who like to see a quote of the day, I have one from Miss Diane Grant. Healing is a journey, not a destination. I love that. It's a journey, not a destination. Just like saying suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. So it's a daily journey. Even for me, when I surrender, I do it daily. I don't just surrender one time and say I'm good. No, each day that God gives me life, I say, you know what? Thank you, God. I'm up. I could do something. I could do something. I could do something. I could make a purpose. I could just do something because I have that day to do it. Okay, moving along. Today is going to be a journey of discussing disappointments. That's what we have to live through. Each one of us have some kind of level of disappointment in our lives. It may not be what I go through, what you go through, what somebody else go through, but each person at one point in their life suffer from a disappointment. You could be disappointed in a meal. You could be disappointed in a journey of driving somewhere, a route that you take. You're disappointed in that one. Disappointed in a relationship. Disappointed in expectation. Disappointed that you didn't get promoted. But each one of us go through a disappointment in our lives. When I went through my disappointment, boy, I tell you, it was a doozy. It was a doozy. I had to inhale, exhale, and inhale, exhale. It was a doozy for my disappointment. Because when you set up yourself for something in life and it falls through the crack, it hits you like a ton of bricks. It hits you hard because you had that expectation. You had that expectation. That's why it's so important now for me to live my life without expectations. I'm being blatantly honest here. No expectations. What you see is what you get. Live for the moment, because when you set expectations and you don't meet it, it's a drag. It's a drag. Well, for me, I'm here. It's for me. It's a drag. So now I say, you know what? I'm just gonna live, enjoy, laugh, forgive, and just live life. Just live life. There's something about me that I always see people say to me that I get vexed too fast. Well, Herman, you get vexed too fast. No, I don't get vexed too fast. Each person have their right to their own opinion. I'll never take that away from them. But when they tell me that I get vexed too fast, I said, no, I don't argue and I don't debate. I don't do those two things. I say what I mean and I mean what I say. If I tell somebody no, I mean no. My no is not a prerequisite to a yes. Don't keep trying to change it. Just leave it alone. Just no is no. If I say maybe, if I say, okay, we'll see, okay, yeah. But if I say no, no is no. No means no, not a prerequisite to a yes. When I went through, what I said now, when I went through my disappointment, I had to separate myself big time, big time. And I do believe the reason why I separated myself from the disappointment is so I could really sit back and analyze everything before I move ahead. Because nothing worse than moving ahead without fixing a problem. It's like putting lotion over ashy feet that you didn't try to go get a good soak. You didn't get a good soak. So here you go, put lotion on to cover the ash. No, you got to really go scrape that ash out and then put the lotion on, because you just covering up ashy skin. Just keep scrubbing. So I had to do that. I had to put myself in that situation because I just didn't want to sink further. I did not want to sink deeper. So I had to pump the brakes and right there and there separate myself from what I wanted and what I was going through there and there. Once I did that, I was able to say, you know what? I got it. I got it. I got it. And then my grandmother came to mind. With every disappointment, you look for the silver lining. With every disappointment, you look for the silver lining. Because if I lived my life in that disappointment, I don't know where I would be living in that life. I don't know. But what I do know is I had to see the good in that. I had to see the good. I don't want to quote no more scriptures, but we all know where that scripture is from about that. So it's like I had to see it. I had to see, wait a minute now. What can I get out of this disappointment? Where can I get some growth out of disappointment? Where can I see out of this mess? What message, like they would say, can I deliver from this mess I got myself into? And I had to really analyze it, like pull back the layers and see the good in that disappointment. I myself have something empathy, you know. I felt the person's pain. I felt the person's pain also with the disappointment. I felt theirs. And it was like, wow, here I am feeling they don't want to do this thing, but for some reason they have to. And I had to empathize and understand and accept because I'm human. Okay. I am human as they get. You cut me, I'm going to bleed. You pinch me, I'm going to scream. So instantly, I wanted to snap like a snake or like a scorpion because I'm a Scorpio, and we got that stinger right there, and we just want to sting. I, it's a Scorpion nature, just want to sting. So I'm not saying that you know sting the person, but what I'm saying is it was in my mind to do it. It was in my mind to react. It was in my mind to be vindictive. It was in my mind because I'm human. But what also is in my mind is one of the fruit of the spirit, self-control. When I thought about self-control, when I said, you know what, wait, I could think of all the ways. I could think of all the ways I could get back at that person. I could think of all the things I would do to that person. But who will be holding the bag? Who will be holding the dirty end of that stick? Guess what? It will be me. It will be me. Being vindictive, being spiteful, I will be holding the dirty end of the stick. It will be me. So I said, you know what? No. My self control, no. So as quick as that thought came into my mind to be this horrible, vindictive witch, I said, you know what? No, I'm bigger and I'm better than that because I have self control to say, you know what? As I said before, I felt the person's pain. I felt the person's pain also. So with feeling that, I said, you know what? No, I won't do anything. I will just say, you know what? Live and let live. I just gonna say live and let live. The next thing I had to do, go through all of this, is just to sit in solitude by myself. Sit in a quiet place, nobody talking to me. I won't talk to nobody. I just wanted to grieve. I wanted to just grieve because there got to be a period of grief of that disappointment where you know what? Hmm, just grieve it. Don't let it become a part of me. Don't let it become a part of my life. Let the goodness that came out of it be a part of my life, not that. Let me just say, you know what? Cry, scream, might break a glass or two. I don't know. I know I didn't, but somebody might. There is a room that people could say the breakup room where you go in a room and people paying to do that. You go in a room and you just break things. You just break things. But I didn't break anything. I just say, you know what? Just day by day, pray, pray, pray. Go back to my scripture and trust God and give him all of my mess, give him everything, and my grief gonna leave me one day. It's not my day, but when God say, you know what, it's time. It's time, it's time, it's time. So I said, you know what? Let me just do this. Let me just feel everything, feel all of it, feel all of it, feel every bit of it, feel every bit of it. But in feeling every bit of it, there is one thing I made sure I did not do. I made sure positive as day is day and night is night. I did not say what if. I didn't say what if. I didn't say if only I had did this, if only I had said this, if only I had went there, if only I had won this, if only I didn't do this, if only, if only, if only, if only. No, 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 no. That if only, that what if would have kept me in bondage, would have kept me stagnant, would have not given me the place I needed to grow. It would not have got me where I would learn a lesson. And that takes me back to COVID. See, when COVID happened, a lot of good came out of that. A lot. People made businesses, family got closer, people became health conscious. Notice I didn't say weight loss, because I say health conscious, because weight loss and health conscious is two different things. I hate the scale. I don't like to use that word hate. My son knows that. That scale is, I remember a time when I got on that scale and I said, what? What? And then I put my clothes on, it was like, whoa, whoa, wait a minute. But the scale said that. So no, I don't like scale. I don't like scale at all. So leave those what ifs alone. Leave those if only alone, because it's just going to keep a person in bondage. It's going to keep them not growing and not getting to where they want to be, where they need to be. And this freedom, it's so freeing. Oh my God. It's so freeing. It's so freeing when you finally put that disappointment in its place. You finally say, you know what, this ain't mine. Shoot. This is not my burden to carry. This disappointment is not mine, and I'm not going to carry it any longer. It is so freeing, and so it's a freedom. It's a special freedom when a person no longer hold on to a disappointment. When you just say, you know what? No. Yes, I was disappointed. Yes, it hurted, but I can't stay here. I have to move on. I have to grow. I have to experience something. I have to discern this. I have to say, you know what is this really? I have to get to the point where I say, you know what? I have to discern. I have to discern what is this. And I'm telling you, it's so gratifying. It is so gratifying when you don't live in a what if life, when you don't live in the but only if I've done that, if I only have said that. No, it's gone. It's yesterday. So we just got to focus on the now, today. What can I do now to move forward? What can I say now to move forward? That's where you got to, that's where you got to go. That's where you got to go. Trust. I said in my Bible reading, trust. Sit back and trust that that disappointment was like a redirection for something new, for something awakening. So that disappointment does not overpower what's greater at the other side of the rainbow, that something so imagined that's waiting for you. It's not an expectation. It's not an expectation. Like I'm saying, it's not an expectation for me, because I don't live in expectation anymore. I don't live that. I am 62 years old. And for me to say I'm going to live my life on expectation, I no more. I have learned lessons and I have gone through it to say, you know what? I will not live on expectations anymore. I'm going to live on what I see now, not even what I feel. Don't even live on what I feel, because that could also get me in trouble. I am not saying I'm this person that have to be where, yes, I have to be perfect, because guess what? Sister, I ain't perfect, but I will not base my future living on expectation. I will base my future from living for the now moments and say, you know what? Life is good. Life is sweet. Life is just wonderful. I don't know where I heard this. I'm trying to remember in my mind where I heard it, who said it. But sometime you could be the perfect package. When I say perfect, it does not mean what's in the dictionary. I'm just saying that you could be ready for somebody and you are the total package, but you're the wrong address. I don't remember where I heard that, but all I did was when I heard it, I just shook my head and said, you know what? You could be the total package. Oh, Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey said that. Steve Harvey said that. So I don't know where he heard it, but that's where I heard it from. You could be the total package, but at the wrong address. Just like you could be reading the same book, but on different chapters. So live life according to the will of God. Okay, live your life according to the will of God and how you deem fit. Don't live for the Joneses. Don't live for your partner, but you live for the will of God and how you want to see your future striving, how you want to see that. And that's still not expectation. It's not an expectation that I'm living in, because like I says, no more of that for me. I just want to live for the NOW and just move on from there. So let's see move on now to the comment section. What's in the comments? Who's telling me good morning? Oh, good morning, Mihio. Good morning from Atlanta. By the way, tell me in the comments, how is the weather your way? Because my weather is excelente. Good morning. Good morning, Kent. Pray for me. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Yes, I will pray for you. So my son says, no hate, despise. So you see there, my son says, okay, so despise. So like I taught him as a child, hate is not a nice word to use. So he's reminded me to say, instead of saying hate, say I despise. Well, thank you, mi hijo. I don't pronouncing that right in Spanish. Mi hijo, my son, my son. So 63, that's my kind of temperature. 60 degrees, 63 degrees, that is the temperature that I like. 60 to 72, that's me. 63, 60 to 72, that's the temperature I love to live in. But 80s and 90s, oh good grief, oh good grief. So that's all the comments. So that is all the comments. Yes, that is all the comments. No more comments. Let's go back right here. So, in closing, disappointments. There is different forms of disappointment. There is many different form of disappointment. How you choose to handle your disappointment, that's on you. That's on you. As for Hermie, I will learn from my disappointment. I will learn from my disappointment. I won't let my disappointment overtake me, because trust me when I say this, I have in the past let disappointment overpower my life, where I let the disappointment rule me and I was no good. So I have learned to learn from this. I have learned to learn from the disappointment and don't allow the disappointment to rule me. So I rule it. And since I have learned how to do that, I'm telling you, it's great. But then somebody will say in the background, oh, well, Hermie, you said you don't live in expectation anymore. So what's going to disappoint you? Guess what? Life happens. Life happens. Life happens. I could be easily doing something right now and I get disappointed. It was not an expectation. It's just something happens. So I want to make sure I clarify that. I do not live on expectations, but disappointment will still occur in my life. It won't be because of an expectation. It will not be, because I'm going to tell you this. When I got disappointed because of an expectation, it was not pretty. But when I get disappointment because of life occurrence, it's nothing. When I didn't get promoted, You know, it's a disappointment, but it did not shatter me. It didn't shatter me. You know, so it's like something like that. I just want to clarify myself on that. Oh, wait a minute. I don't want to go. And there's a comment. I'll make sure I get all that comment. Oh, hi, Sunny. Hi. Thank you for joining me on the live. Thank you for joining me on the live. Thank you. So, Facebook family, I appreciate you joining me today. For those who were on the live, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Like I said, next week is Self-Care Sunday for a productive week, because 6 P's, 6 P's, 6 P's. I wonder if my son remembers the 6 P's. Lauren, do you remember the 6 P's? Okay, you got 10 seconds. You got 10 seconds to see if you remember the 6 P's. 10 seconds, Lauren. Okay, 10 seconds almost over. Do you remember the 6 P's? Yes or no? Yes or no? I take it you don't remember because you're not making any comment for what the 6 P's are. That's 6 P's, Lauren Bell. You forgot the 6 P's? I don't believe that. You forgot the 6 P's. So, well, I'm going to say it here right now. Some, okay, I'll go with that. I'll take some. Okay, so let me hear the 6 P's. Prior, planning, prevents, piss, poor performance. So when you plan, that's you plan. When you plan, you're gonna succeed. When you plan, you're gonna have an awesome week. So anyway, Facebook family, again, thank you for joining me on the live. Island Girl out. Bye.